Hello, welcome to Computer Tech More. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Magegee Sky98 mechanical keyboard. The box is not particularly interesting. So it's the Sky98 mechanical keyboard, where it's made, manufacturer, company address, little image of the keyboard, and what operating systems it'll work with. Let's go ahead and open it up. Alright, as we're taking a look at and opening this up, this is a $40 keyboard, so everything needs to be taken in respect to how much it costs. It comes with a keycap puller and a key switch puller, both of which are very cheap style, but again, for the price point. It comes with double shot extra keys, so that you can give your keyboard some extra flair. And the packaging in it is what I call just fine and dandy, with pretty much no other accessories in here. First and foremost, this is hardwired into the keyboard, so if something happens to this cable and breaks, then your keyboard is SOL, and you may be SOL. The plug on this is ginormous, so that'll probably stick out from a computer pretty far. If you're using a desktop, it won't really matter, but on a laptop, well, I would call that a no-go. Let's flip it over real quick. Oh, the rubber on the bottom is adequate. I mean, it's the price. These feet feel very flimsy. I would be very careful with them. They feel like they could break so easily. Let's flip it over. So this is kind of what's called a 98% keyboard. So it's like 8% of a full-size keyboard, where you're just kind of missing the little bit, so you get a little bit smaller footprint. And this one I was purely looking at basically for you, my viewers, because why not? Oh, I'm going to do the listen test right now. I don't know if you could tell, but after every key press, it has a kind of a ring sound on the inside. This is a very hollow sounding keyboard. It pretty much doesn't matter what switches are on this. It's gonna sound terrible. But the show must go on, so let's take off a switch, or take off a cap. And it says it can come off. Let's try. Wow, that felt absolutely terrible to remove. It took quite a lot of force to get out. Very basic looking PCB, north facing LED in there. It's just a red box switch. It's going to be linear based on coloring. It's fine. I do prefer tactile. But the fact that it does appear to be 3-pin MX style means that you could go and switch out every single one of the keys, but I'm not sure it'd be worth it for the way this keyboard sounds. Now, I do see screws, so you can see it in there. Apologize for my finger. I smashed it in a door probably around a month ago now, and it's slowly growing out. But you could probably take the whole front face off of it and put in some foam and stuff just to improve the sound. But at that point, you kind of might as well just get a better keyboard. But if you're looking for an entry point to then start modding out the keyboard, this may not be a bad pick, other than having this permanently wired in place. Well, that was a nice satisfying click. That should overall help with stabilizing these keys. Stabilization seems... the spacebar looks good. The shift key is kind of leaving a little bit to be desired, although it does have stabilizers in it. The keycaps are double shot. I did not see a material listed for them, so I do imagine they are ABS, but it is kind of nice that it has double shot, which just means that this wording in here should last a little bit longer than if it was just print screened onto it, where it would rub off very quickly. But the keycaps will turn shiny pretty quickly. So that is a downside of going with ABS over PBT material. The layout, though, is pretty nice. I do like 96% keyboards. My drop shift is a 96% keyboard. And we're going to go ahead and basically compare this to that one, as well as all the other tests we're going to do. So let's go ahead and plug this into a computer and see how she does. Okay, before we get into anything, there is no software that comes with this keyboard, so you can just go through its lighting profiles. By pressing the delete key. Here we go. So I'm probably going to just go with that. Sorry, I do see a flicker on my camera. There is no flicker in real life that I can see, at least. It is just one color, so we're going to stick with this, and let's go ahead and do our typing test. Okay, kind of stopped responding there for a half second, don't know why. But the typing speed turned out to be okay. Okay, to do the typing test, I'm going to be having my camera pointed at the screen. Microphone is going to be pointed at the keyboard so you can hear what it sounds like. I'm dyslexic, so I'm not the world's fast typer. Here are some previous results that you can see on screen right now. And let's go ahead and get into it. But I'm not going to lie, that typing experience felt complete like mush. So, again, dyslexia means that I'm not a fast typer because of the actual processing that it takes to actually read and then transmit it onto my hands. Also, like the commas, semicolons, periods, I generally have to look down at the keyboard to make sure I'm actually getting those. But the letters and numbers I generally don't need to look at. So it felt just mush and garbage and whatever. But in theory, you could completely disassemble this and put in your own keycaps and whatever else. So you could turn a, how much was this again, $35 keyboard into some, sorry, $40 keyboard, 10% coupon, currently on Amazon, into something better. But I personally am leaning towards probably not worth it. So this right here is pretty funny. I'm comparing a $250 keyboard to a $40 keyboard, but they are both in this 96% keyboard arena, so they're worthy of comparing against each other. That gives you some idea of the sound. So the drop shift does sound a little bit hollow to me, but it sounds significantly better than the Magegee, again, however you want to say its name. That being said, in terms of physical layout, you get a larger plus sign. I've seen this on more of this style keyboard recently than the way the drop shift has done it, where you got the print screen and then a small plus and minus. I like my print screen. I'd rather not have to do F and P. Just personal preference, I'd rather just have a button. So you're given that up for this, and I've seen other layouts that actually compact everything up here a little bit better so that you can have pretty much all your buttons, and then you just have this little bit of space in there so you can actually see what you have selected, so number lock, cap lock, Windows. So, but you get the lighting effects, you get this nice size layout. And for 40 bucks, it's fine. But the fact that this isn't removable is a major downside for me. And let's take a look at its vertical height in the front. So this is actually significantly taller as a high, I don't know the terms, high board keyboard. And in terms of its physical height in the back, if it will do it without sitting on the wire, they are near on the same. So you're getting a shallower angle, but it's sitting higher up. So depending on your typing preferences, this may not be a good keyboard for you, especially if you want something lower to the tabletop surface. Well, let's go ahead and see how well it games. So I just found this out. This this switch right here turns on and off the backlight. I think that's completely unnecessary for this keyboard, but hey, it's kind of cool that it's there. And while we're waiting to get into the game, ABS keycaps. It's kind of, I mean, everything's on a budget. It's 40 bucks. So what are your expectations? So let's see how it does. Game of choice is going to be Black Mesa. It's just a first-person shooter that I own and play, so let's give it a go. Okay, we are in-game in Black Mesa, and let's run around. So I'm at very low health, so I don't know how far I'll actually make it right now. I should probably get out of combat while I actually try to talk about this keyboard, shouldn't I? So in terms of response time, I've got my Razer. It feels plenty responsive, so I'm going to say there's no qualms there. Oh yeah, I'm not going to make it. Do I have any grenades? I mean, other than the fact that the sound of this keyboard, oh my, is rather distracting in terms of it being high-pitched, like very, very tingy. Why do you keep loading me where I'm being shot at? But the sound of it just sounds so cheap. I would almost rather have a membrane style switch at this point, because then at least it would be a little bit quieter. So, I mean, if you have to have a mechanical switch, I guess this will do, but it just feels so crappy. And that kind of is where I'm going to lead off this review. It's okay. For the price, it's actually pretty good, but you're stuck with a fixed wire if that ever breaks your SOL. It's very hollow sounding. You're stuck with one color, but it's also 40 bucks. So if you have to have a mechanical keyboard, and you certainly could get worse, but you are stuck with either getting clicky or linears. So, well, I hope this review helped you in some way. My channel is Computer Tech and More. Please join me again in the future. If you want me to take a look at other products in the future, please let me know what they are. Check out my Patreon page. It really helps me grow and support my channel. Other than that, thank you for watching and have a great day.